What up, YouTube LAX? Come back at you with another custom StarCraft 2 cast. Today, we have a matchup featuring the ultimate Mode of Erls Reloaded. If you're not familiar with this mod, it adds 30 new playable races to the StarCraft universe. So if you're looking at this game and you're like, why are the SCVs putting minerals into a battle cruiser? Well, that is because there is nothing vanilla about today's matchup. Like I said, 30 new playable races are introduced in this mod. It's absolutely ridiculous. To be fair, though, some of them are variants of the already existing races in StarCraft 2. Anyway, let's go ahead and introduce our players. Spawning on the bottom left-hand side of the map, it's our teal Cyberzerg player, SimonTheGame, one of my favorite races, by the way, in this mod. Going up against his opponent, spawning on the top right-hand side of the map, it's our green Paramilitary player, SaleLale. This one should be exciting because in the Ultimate Mode of Erls Reloaded Discord, this replay was titled Pain, and I'm so curious to understand why it was titled that way. Now, we'll try and talk a bit about the mechanics as the action unfolds. We'll start with the Cyberzerg. Now, the Cyberzerg are really interesting because they don't build things at all like the vanilla Zerg. So as you just possibly witnessed, we had four cyberlings immediately run out of this assembly pool, which is basically your barracks equivalent for the Cyberzerg. Now, I don't think 4 cyberlings are going to do a lot of damage because the paramilitary flagship right here, the one that we're looking at, is effectively a self-defense unit. This thing, as you would expect, shoots rockets out of it. So yeah, this is not going to look good for these cyberlings. The cyberlings do have a charge of thunder ability, which allows them to charge at a targeted unit. It's kind of like a jump ability. It's really cool. We'll see if these cyberlings can do any damage. I mean, even if they take out a few workers, that wouldn't be too bad. They get some scouting information as well. They'll be attacking the research center, but I don't know if I would attack the research center. I would attack the mineral line, but anyway, as we just witnessed, the absolute carnage on those cyberlings from the Cryus flagship. Absolutely disgusting. Now, one other thing to mention about the Cyberzerg is they don't build things with the drones. They build things with the AI center. So your AI center is kind of like your Nidus network, but it's also your building structure. So what we're seeing right here is being built from an AI center, or at the very least, it's being queued up from the AI center. And one other thing to mention is you don't build your cyber hatchery with a drone unless you don't have any cyber hatcheries on the field at all. It is built from your AI center, and it can be built from across the map. That is why we have 2 high-yield expansions from SimonTheGame. Dare I say, is this broken? I don't know. But this also opens up tremendous cheese potential for the Cyberzerg. I don't know for certain if you can build these cyber hatcheries away from a mineral line, but if you could just use the AI center, build like, I mean, you could even build something in the natural base for your opponent, and when that cyber hatchery pops, you build an assembly pool, and then you just start cheesing like a madman. I would love to see those games. Anyone from the community, if you just heard me say that, please do it, and then send me the replay. I would love to cast that sort of game. Anyway, 2 high-yield expansions for our Cyberzerg player. Disgusting. We have spitters on the way as well, it looks like. Now, the spitter is your roach equivalent for the Cyberzerg. Are there, how many? Looks like there's 11 of them running across the field. Now, 11 spitters. That looks a lot scarier than 4 cyberlings. To be fair, though, this flagship can lift off, and once it does, it is mobile, and it will be able to do damage, and I don't think the spitter can do air damage. So yeah, you lift off your flagship. These spitters are effectively sitting ducks, and that is exactly what SaleLale is doing. What a legend. These spitters have no idea what to do, and they decide to potentially run home. That's what I would do. SimonTheGame saying cringe air user. I love that, especially because, well, I mean, the paramilitary, its main building is an air unit. And SaleLale responding with, and you're a cringe roach spammer. And that was 1 batch. That's actually insane. How many can you build? Okay, so I think each of these are like 2. So you build 1. You can see the 1 right here on this kind of building option. I think that means you're building 1 of those units, is my guess. We have a few spitters that did survive somehow. Now, one other thing to mention is expanding as a paramilitary player is a lot different. You have to build a drop ship and then it can land, or in this case, it's a drop barge, and it becomes a resource drop-off point. And that also allows you to kind of use your flagship more offensively if needed. And that drop barge costs 325 minerals. Really not that bad. Oh, man. What are these spitters up to? Basically throwing their lives away. The Cryus has 15 kills already. That is disgusting. One other thing that I should mention is you can zoom out way more than in vanilla StarCraft 2. I still have to get used to that, especially for casting. Oh, and what do we have here? We have protectors, and what do they do? So they have a multi-lock. Protectors attack up to 5 air units at once every attack. That is disgusting. It does look like they use the Infestor kind of unit skin, but obviously the Cyber skin. Oh, wow. We'll see. I mean, this is exactly what I would build going up against the paramilitary. Taking a look at the units, what do we have for an army for our paramilitary player? Not much. Oh, okay. We got the patrol fighters. Now, the patrol fighter is effectively a single build interceptor. You build them from your star domes, not your starports, the star dome. And they are super cool, very fast units. And I believe they also have a cloaking ability, which is crazy for harassment potential. So you basically just build a bunch of these, cloak them, fly into the back of a mineral line, and your opponent starts to cry. Or at the very least, I would start to cry. All right, the protectors, with their ability to attack multiple air units, absolutely destroying those patrol fighters. Cryus, though, getting 25 kills, absolutely outrageous. So many of the Cyberzerg units go down. What do we have left? We have a mecha worm being built. What is this? Obviously some sort of Nidus worm. The one protector is still alive with 15 HP. It is so close to death. It's not even funny. More protectors on the way. I want to see this mecha worm pop. Super cool. Yep, it is our Nidus worm, which is interesting because we also have the AI center, which functions as kind of a Nidus network as well. I wonder if you can drop off things into that Nidus network or the AI center and then unload them from the mecha worm. I bet you can. I bet you can. And also look at the expansions coming down for SimonTheGame. Now I'm understanding why this replay is called Pain. Potentially. It depends who really submitted this. I didn't actually look, which is better for me because no spoilers. So only really 2 bases for our paramilitary player. I would love to see another expansion. Taking a look at the total supply, 124 supply to 59 supply in favor for our teal Cyberzerg player. Now, by the way, if you guys are new to my channel, I do cast custom StarCraft 2 content virtually all the time. So if custom StarCraft 2 like this is something you're interested in watching more of, please consider subscribing to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And this is actually hilarious. This is what I was talking about. You can just expand. You can expand right next to your opponent, and I'm pretty sure at this point, SimonTheGame, with the 2 high-yield expansions, can afford to be a troll. He can expand literally everywhere and prevent his opponent from expanding. SaleLale saying, I see that. SimonTheGame saying, yeah, I know. And look at how many patrol fighters we've got for the green player. The cancel on that cyber hatchery. This cyber hatchery is spotted. There are a lot of, what are these called technically? EMCs, the spore crawler equivalent for the Cyberzerg. But look at that, the cyber hatchery going down, and that is such a cool death animation as well. Okay, I don't know what that was. Where are the interceptors? Did they all die? Is that what just happened? There's no way. I don't see them on the units tab. Okay, interesting. So it looks like the patrol fighters did die, but they took out effectively 3 bases. They forced the cancel on 1, and they destroyed the high yield base, which is actually a huge pickup. But unfortunately, I mean, look, we have a high yield base that is effectively mined out. SimonTheGame doing a great job with the map control, but to be fair, the AI center is kind of OP for map control. Now, do the patrol fighters, I think they all just died instantly to these protectors is what happened. They do cloak, but I'm pretty sure this greater nanobot center is a detector, so the cloak doesn't matter. The Cryus coming in to do some damage, throwing what was effectively a Yamato cannon at this greater nanobot center, but it survived just barely with 25 HP. Wow, okay. That survived for way longer than I expected. These protectors, will they be able to take out the flagship? I'm not so sure, just because of that AoE damage that the Cryus has. And the Cryus doing a little bit of a jump to these protectors. A little bit of kiting going on. I mean, the Cryus is just about halfway dead, and these protectors are next to, I don't even know. I didn't bother counting the bases. What is this? Base number like 10 or something like that, and not even an exaggeration. I would transition into something outside of patrol fighters with these protectors on the field, because the protectors, with their ability to attack 5 air units at once a piece, these protectors are just going to be going down like crazy. You want to be a little bit more strategic with those things. Excuse me, what do we have here? A full liftoff? Interesting. I wonder if we're going to see something other than a reactor being placed on these star domes is my question. I think so. Looks like a little bit of friendly fire on these reactors. I don't know, man. I mean, this game is absolutely hilarious, but I want to say that our teal Cyberzerg player is ahead. Let's take a look at the resources lost. I mean, he's behind in resources lost, but he's way ahead in expansion. SaleLale saying be right back. Did he even bother pausing the game? SimonTheGame saying I'll go farm some more. To be fair, this is a long game, so what I'll do is some jump cuts if necessary. All right, SaleLale is back. He was only gone for about a minute. He's like, hey, you're not farming anything, and he's going to destroy one of the cyber hatcheries. Oh, and we have a cyber killer as well, or a few cyber killers, which are the Hydralisk equivalent, I think, for the Cyberzerg. Let's take a closer look at these units. Okay, here we go. Look at this. They have like a little cannon thing on the back, or a rocket launcher on their backs. That is cool. It's kind of hard to see when all of them are damaged, but man, this is such a wild mod. Like I said, the game is quite long, so if necessary, I will do jump cuts if these players decide to just screw around a little bit, but we're kind of lacking in replays because of Blizzard's latest patch for StarCraft 2. They broke the last year's worth of replays, and it causes me so much pain, but it's fine because we will persevere and find replays to cast for modded StarCraft 2. A lot of patrol fighters being built, and I'm not so sure if this is the move, but we also have ground shakers. Now, what do the ground shakers do? If the ground shakers have over 20 energy when attacking, their attacks will release 4 shockwaves in a line, dealing 25 damage, and it costs 20 energy. Oh, this is going to be interesting. A lot of those patrol fighters going down. The ground shakers doing a ton of damage on the Cyberzerg units. SimonTheGame saying, what the f***? That was a huge hit. I want to see more ground shakers, and in fact, we do have more ground shakers coming out from the star domes. The expansion kind of closer to the green side of the map does go down. There's a mecha worm here, which will go down for sure, and it does. No cancel on that thing. And so many expansions that are just unused. That is so hilarious to me. Now the ground shakers are cloaked, and there is no nano, what was it called? The like nanobot center. You're effectively your overlord equivalent, which is a detector unit. SimonTheGame saying cringe cloak air user. That is so funny. SaleLale saying learn tactics. I love the banter between these two players, man. It is so hilarious. Now, I really don't know who's going to win this game. I don't even know if they're trying, to be honest. But, I mean, it kind of looks like they're semi-trying, right? At the very least, it's a good showcase of the units for both of these factions, because we're kind of seeing, like, one set of units a pop. So you have your, you know, your ground shakers, then you had your protectors, which were all attacking all at once. And now it looks like the expansion landing. Oh, this is actually interesting because this is technically a unit. It can land on the creep. That's interesting. So we have an expansion coming down. 2 expansions actually coming down for the green paramilitary player. Now, the hoverers, as I recall, are crazy units. They have laser beams that do so much anti-air damage, but the flagship with 52 kills literally could not care less and destroys those Muta equivalents. And now 2 bases finally for our green, I almost said Terran player, our paramilitary player. He really needed those expansions for sure. Taking a look at the total supply, we have 145 supply for green and 115 supply for teal. So green is actually ahead in the unit supply. Taking a look at the units also, we have 106 drones and 32 Kamas or SCVs. So way more workers for the teal Cyberzerg player, but looking at how many bases he has, I would expect you to have a disgusting amount of workers. No lie about that. A logistics cavern. This is interesting. It looks like an upgrade structure, a variant of the Ultralisk cavern. Meanwhile, these ground shakers are just patrolling as they should because these bases are very important for the paramilitary player. And a Mecha Queen getting some scouting information, but will go down in the end. Rest in peace, Mecha Queen. You were useful to some degree. Another base being taken down by the ground shakers. Their cloak ability is just so useful in this situation. SaleLale has a lot of work to do to clean up these bases, though. What do we have here? We have Artificial Lords. Oh, this is going to be interesting. What do they do? Phasing armor prevents the Artificial Lord from taking damage for 1 second after being attacked. Can't occur more than once every 4 seconds. And what is its ability? It's an ATS laser battery, so this thing shoots laser beams? Okay. Okay. Does it attack air is my question. Yes, it does. It does attack air. The flagship getting healed just a little bit. Will it go down? The drop barge does go down. A lot of these Artificial Lords going down, though. Taking a look at the resources lost, 17,000 resources lost for teal, 7,800 resources lost for green. I'm starting to understand more and more why this replay was titled Pain. I really have no idea what's going on. Like I said, though, at the very least, this is kind of a good showcase for these races to some degree. I mean, the main base is effectively out of commission for the paramilitary player, but it doesn't matter. Another base going down for the teal Cyberzerg player. These ground shakers doing so much work, and they're so fast. The Artificial Lords, yes, they can attack air, but they are so slow compared to these paramilitary units. And here we go. The main base for the Cyberzerg player is under siege. The Maintenance Overlord will provide some detection, though. And one of my favorite Cyberzerg units, the Ultrasonic Machine, which can do air damage with cannons on its back, will take out those paramilitary units. Taking a look at the supply now, it's 199 supply to 123 in favor for our teal Cyberzerg player. I'm surprised these drop barges are still alive. I'm not going to lie. Oh, wait. One of them's gone. Never mind. Another dropship. Oh, no, it's not a dropship barge. It's just some ground shakers chilling at the high yield expansion, which is effectively mined out. This, okay, this ground shaker attacking all by itself. These guys are on lunch. They're on vacation. And this drop barge, I think it's landed kind of far away from the mineral line, though. Meanwhile, a lot of teal units running across the map. This is going to be absolutely disgusting to witness. So many explosions all over the map. The flagship Cryus making itself known, doing so much damage. What was that? All those ultrasonic units going down. The Artificial Lords are still alive, but they are not going to survive. There is no way they survive. I mean, the Cryus, okay, healing just a little bit. Oh, man, taking a look at the resources lost, 29,000 resources lost for teal, 14,000 resources lost for green. Taking a look at the workers killed, only 4 workers killed by teal, 27 workers killed by green. 193 units total killed by the teal player, though. That is crazy. This base, again, I don't know what base number this is, will go down to these ground shakers. This really is like interdimensional TV. I said this in one of my previous casts. Somebody left a comment saying this was like interdimensional cable for StarCraft 2, and I couldn't agree more, but I can't find that comment. So if you find your way to this video, let me know. I will pin that comment for you because I don't want to take the credit for that, because that is so accurate for what we are witnessing. The artificial lords, I love them. They're so cool looking, but they are a bit slow. And I don't know if this is necessarily what SimonTheGame needs. And now looking at the bases, suddenly a lot of the bases are gone. These ground shakers are just doing so much damage to these cyber hatcheries. If you told me 10 minutes ago we'd be at this point in the game with way less cyber hatcheries than what we started with, I would have not believed you, man. A lot of the ground shakers going down, though. The artificial lord's doing some good damage, able to intercept them. Those ground shakers overextending themselves just a little bit. Taking a look at the total supply, 123 supply to 84 in favor for our teal Cyberzerg player. Taking a look at the units as well now, 55 drones to 29 SCV equivalents. So there's still a worker lead for the Cyberzerg player, but not nearly as much. How many workers killed now? 78 workers killed by green. Outrageous. Totally disgusting. And we'll see. We'll see how SimonTheGame kind of comes back from this, if he can. Oh, this is funny. This is really funny. There's going to be an attempt at a cyber hatchery, but the drop barge is already landed here, and this cyber hatchery is going to be planted right next to its opponent and absolutely destroyed. I don't think there was even a cancel on that, actually. These patrol fighters, how do they do that? It's a quick jump, so instantly teleport to the targeted area, similar to how I guess the vanilla battlecruiser does. That is super sick, actually. So you can teleport and cloak on these things. How much HP do they have, though? 25 HP. And that cyber hatchery going down so quickly, there wasn't even an animation, I feel like. Oh, the AI center being attacked. That is a huge pickup, I think, for SaleLale, our paramilitary player. Oh, wow. Taking a look at the resources lost, 38,000 resources lost to 18,000 resources lost in favor for the green player. Now, looking at the production tab, yeah, we have a little bit of kind of graphical anomalies, or maybe just things that have to be worked on, so we can't actually see, you know, what's being researched, which is unfortunate, but, you know, it's whatever. It's a mod, and I cannot be mad because this mod is so well done. One of my favorites at this point. I mean, 30 races. We just scratched the surface of this mod, man. I've definitely not done a cast on all of them, that is for sure. I will eventually make a video showcasing all of them, though, because I feel like I kind of have to. Oh, no, that warp for the Cryus. Just a little bit too ambitious. The flagship will go down. It will get rebuilt. And, oh, wow, okay. Goes down immediately. Oh, no. That can't be cheap. Now 20,000 resources lost for green, 43,000 resources lost for teal. The hovers remind me of something from Godzilla with their laser beams, man. So sick. So disgustingly sick. I mean, the animation is absolutely insane. But I feel like SimonTheGame's coming out ahead. There's no banter right now. There was a bit of a graphical glitch. My whole game just froze, but I think we're still casting. these SCVs or the Kamas running for their lives into the drop barge. The drop barge will be able to pull them to safety for the time being, but a lot of this map is mined out at this point. There's not a lot of options for expanding at this point in the game. I mean, 28 minutes into the game, this is hurting my face. I am in so much pain. I understand why this replay was called pain now. Absolutely certain about that. I love the transition to air for the teal player as well. He's like, hey, cringe air user, let me do that too. Now Cronus is here. A flagship for the paramilitary player. It will teleport away, though. It's like, wait a minute, you're not paying me enough to deal with all these Cyberzerg units by myself. Let me get some support and also a repair, if you please. And we don't have a repair on the flagship, though. What are these? Manumitters. Okay, interesting. So some sort of anti-air unit, but I don't think there's quite enough. Oh, no. And now it's looking like this may be in favor for the teal Cyberzerg player. Taking a look at the resources, or sorry, not the resources, the unit supply. 61 supply total to 78 supply actually in favor for the green player. Oh, here we go. Cry is coming back, making an entrance, and taking out all the flying units for the Cyberzerg. What the heck? SimonTheGame saying, GG, I'm broke. He's technically gas broke. He has plenty of minerals, though. We'll see, though. We'll see. There's still some time in the game. SaleLale saying, economical victory. So now what? Are they just going to chill? Is that what's going to happen? Are we going to have to do a jump cut to the end? We might. We might have to. Let's see, though. And indeed, SimonTheGame throwing out a GG. That was about 7 minutes of both of these players lollygagging. So we just jumped to the end. What a fun Ultimate Mode of Erls Reloaded matchup. A little bit different from my typical cast, but that's how it goes. If you guys enjoyed what you saw, please consider shooting me a like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you want me to cast any of your own games, I will leave my email and Discord in the description below. And I'll see you guys on the next one.